Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is CA Yogesh, and we are doing standard 12th statistics. See, in statistics, so far we have completed part 1. So far we have completed part 1 of your statistics. Okay, in part 1, there were chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, then chapter 4. Okay, so there were four chapters in your part 1. The four chapters were like first chapter was of 12 marks, second was for 12, third was for 12, and fourth was for 12. So total of your part 1 was 48 marks. Okay, today we are going to start the part 2 of your syllabus. Okay. Now in this part 2 of your syllabus, there are in total 5 chapters. How many chapters are there in total? 5 chapters. Now in this 5 chapters, the breakup, or you can say the allotment of the marks are like this. First chapter is of 12 marks, second is of 10 marks, third is of 10 marks, fourth is of 10 marks, fifth is of 10 marks. So you can say that total of the part 2 is 52 marks. So part 1 is of 48 marks and part 2 is of 52 marks. Yes. Now in part 2, the first chapter is of 12 marks. Okay. In part 2, the first chapter is of 12 marks. Now what this actually the chapter is, this chapter is all about the probability. So you can say the one of the lengthy chapter of your standard 12, one of the important chapter of your standard 12, one of the difficult chapter of your standard 12, whatever you say, but this is the probability. Okay, you have done some uh, minor things in this chapter in standard 10th, so you know what actually the topic is, but we will be doing in quite brief this chapter. What you have done was a very basic thing. We will elaborate it. First of all, let me tell you that how many marks this chapter will cost. This chapter will cost you 12 marks. How it is being bifurcated, it is being bifurcated like this. There should be one MCQ, one short question. There should be 2 marks question, 2 marks, 2 sorry, there would no be, there will not be 2 marks question, there would be 3 marks 2 question. Okay, so it aids, and in 4 marks there is a section E in your paper. In 4 marks section there would be the probability. Yes, there will be probability in 4 marks. So this is the breakup. Now sometimes what they do in this 4 marks setup, they in 4 marks setup they ask 2 marks 2 question, but it will be in the heading of section E, 4 marks. So this is the weightage of your chapter, I should tell. This is the bifurcation breakup of your chapter. Now what the probability is, what the probability is. Okay, some one would say, some would say that probability is chance of occurrence. Okay. Some would say the probability is chance of occurrence, that whether this would happen, would not happen, will happen, will not happen, and something like that. Okay, will happen, will not happen, and something like that. Before starting with this, before starting this chance of occurrence, I would like to explain you, I would like to explain you the term random experiment. I would like to explain you the term random experiment. Now, what this random experiment is? Yes, so we were discussing about random experiment. What is random experiment? You have heard about it in standard 10th, or you remember something about random experiment? Yes or no? No. So, what is random experiment? Now, there are main two characteristic of this random experiment. What is this? Very first thing is that all the outcomes, all the outcomes are known. Okay, that means I already knew it that these are the total outcomes. Say, for example, if I toss a coin, for example, if I toss a coin, I knew it that there are two possibilities. It would be either head or it would be either tail. Okay, I already knew how many possibilities are there. Say, for example, I toss a dice. So I already knew it that in dice, there should be one, there would be two, there would be three, four, five, and six. Okay, for example, take it that we are making 10 chits. Okay, we are numbering it 1 to 10 and we are taking any of the chit. Now I know already outcomes. How many outcomes would be there? There would be 10 outcomes. Either it will be 1, either it will be 2, either it will be 3, or either it will be up to 10. So we already know how many outcomes are there. So this is the very first characteristic, I would say, of the random experiment. Now, what is the second characteristic? So this is the first characteristic. Now, what is second characteristic? That each outcome, each outcome has equal chance. Now, as I told you that you already know that either head or tail would come, but you don't know head will come or tail will come. That means both have equal chance. If I toss a coin and you tell, sir, only head will come. Is it possible? No. Tail also has a chance. Likewise, if I toss a dice, you will tell, sir, 6 will come. Every single digit has a equal chance. 1 has equal chance, 2 has equal chance, 3 has equal chance. So I can say this characteristic as that you don't know which outcome will be there. Okay. Or you know how many outcomes are there. Okay. See, first characteristic was you know how many outcomes are there, but you don't know which outcome is there. This is the main crux of the random experiment. Now, why I taught you this random experiment? Because we will find the probability. We will find the probability in case of random experiment only. Sir, please repeat. We will find probability in case of random experiment only. That means if we already knew how many outcomes are there, all outcomes has equal chance, then and then only we will be finding the probability. Okay, so probability is the mathematical calculation to find which event will occur and what is the percentage, or you can say what is the chance of occurring that event. In pure terms, I would like to tell that we will find probability in only such cases where we know the outcomes. Here we are not doing astrology that a person will marry or not, okay, person will have a kid or not, person will grow or not. We are not doing any astrology, okay. that whether you will be successful in life, you will be having this much cars. Okay, no, no such astrology things. Only pure mathematical things. We already know the outcomes. We already know the total number of chances. We already knew how many kind of things will be there. Just we are putting it on the mathematical calculation, and we are finding the numbers. Okay, so now I thought you would be clear what is random experiment. So this is your statistics part 2. You can see the textbook here. Okay, see, there is a coin, there is a dice, there is a wheel, number wheel. So this is the your portion of random experiment. I already taught you the following characteristic of the random experiment can be deduced from its definition. So what is random experiment? It can be independently repeat under almost identical condition. All possible outcome are known, but which outcome will appear cannot be predicted. You already know how many outcomes are there, but which is there you cannot predict. And the random experiment result into a certain outcome. Now our topic is the sample space. Yes. Now our topic is sample space. Now what this sample space is? You all have done in 8th or 9th standard, maybe I don't remember exact standard, but you all have done a chapter called a set theory. Yes, in that chapter you were having uh, there was something like Venn diagram and something. So sample space is what it is denoted by u. Okay, it is denoted by u. Now what this sample space is, I told you in random experiment that all possible outcomes are known. In random experiment, I taught you all possible outcomes are known. In that sentence, all possible outcome. In that sentence, all possible outcomes is known as sample space. In that case, all possible outcomes is known as a sample space. How, sir? Uh, how, sir? We couldn't get it. Let's take an example. A coin is tossed. In this case, where a coin is tossed, what is total outcome? As I told you that sample space is denoted by u. So what is u here? So what is total outcome? It would be either head or it would be tail. Yes, it would be either head or it would be either tail. So this is the sample space. Now see, if you coin a toss, there will be no third outcome. Okay, there will be no third outcome. If you will toss the coin, it will be either head, it will be tail. So I have written everything. So this u is everything. Okay, all possible outcomes. Now in same case, if I toss two coins, we are not tossing a one coin, we are tossing two coins. Okay, at a time we are tossing two coins. If I toss two coins, then what are the outcomes now? If you toss the two coins, then outcomes are something like this. There would be two head. Now we are doing in case of two coins. So there would be two heads. There would be two tails. Yes, there would be two tails. Then there would be head tail. Then there would be tail head. So these are the four outcomes when two coins are tossed. Now just you think that whether there is fifth outcome or not, you will not get it. There are only four outcomes when two coins are tossed. Either there would be head head, either there would be tail tail, either there would be head tail, or it would be tail head. Yes. Then let's take it. Dice is tossed. If dice is tossed, what is the total outcome? That is sample space. You know, in dice there are six digits. Yes. So if you toss the dice, how many total outcome would be there? There would be one, two, three, four, five, and six. So this much outcomes would be there. One, two, three, four, five, six. Now let's take an example. Two dice is tossed. So now two, not one dice, but two dice are tossed. Now if two dice is tossed, then what happens? See, if in first dice one comes, second dice there can be one. If in first dice there is one, in second dice there could be two. If in first dice there is one, there could be three in the second dice. In first dice, if there is one, there could be four in the second dice. In this way, keep the first dice constant 1 and second dice changes. It can be 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6. Now, if in first dice there is 2, so there is chance of again 1 2 3 4 5 6 in the second dice. So it's 2 3, 2 4, 2 5, 2 6. Okay, now I think so you already knew it how it will work. Now it will be working like this: 3 1, 3 2, okay, 3 3, then 3 4, 3 5, 3 6. Okay, so it will go to 4 1 4 2 4 3 4 4 4 5 4 6 5 1 5 2 5 3 5 4 5 5 5 6 6 1 6 2 6 3 6 4, and last it would be 6 6. Okay, so if you count it, how many digits are there? There are in total 36 digits and two dice are tossed. Okay, how many digits are there? There are 36 digits if two dice are tossed. So this was the sample space. Let's see the textbook. Yes. Okay. So sample space is what? The set of all possible outcome of random experiment is called a sample space. Set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is called sample space of that random experiment. Sample space is generally denoted by U or S. The elements of sample space are called sample points. Elements means these all things. See, head and tail. So head is element, tail is element. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 is element, 2 is element, 3 is element, 4 is element, 5 is element, 6 is element. Head is one element, TT is two element, head tail is three element, and tail head is four elements. So these are the elements. Now examples are same. If one coin is tossed, there will be either head or tail. If a dice is stuck, there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then see, there is a number wheel. Okay, now in this number wheel, numbers are 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there would be either 0, either 1, either 2, either 3. So sample space is 0 to 9. Okay, this is sample space. Now there are two kind of sample space, two types of sample space. It is very simple. One is finite sample space and one is infinite sample space. You can see on the screen. One is finite and one is infinite. So what is finite? Finite is the sample space which we can count. That means number of elements which we can count is finite. And what is infinite? The number of elements you cannot count. Okay. So if you are not able to count the elements, then it is infinite. If you are able to count the elements, then that is finite. So let's go to the illustration one. Two balanced coin are tossed simultaneously. Write the sample space. So we have already written it. If two coins are tossed, it could be either two head, it could be head and tail, it could be tail and head, and it could be two tails. You can see the picturization the textbook had given to you. Illustration 2 also we had done. Two balanced coin are thrown where each dice has number 1 to 6 on the 6 sides. Write the sample space of this experiment. So you are tossing two dices. So I told you that it could be 1 1, it could be 1 2, it could be 1 3, it could be 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, and it could go up till 6 6. Okay. We can do illustration 3 also. Write the sample space of random experiment of finding the number of defective items while testing the quality of 1000 items. Okay. Let us write on the board. This is our board of your classroom, digital board. Yes, there is a good quality in that. We can change the colors very quickly without refilling your marker. That is a good thing also. Now, what is the question? You have to, okay, we are doing illustration number 3. You need to find the sample space of what? You need to find the sample space of random experiment of finding number of defective items. Finding number of defective items while testing quality of 1000 item produced. Defective item of 1000 item produced in factory. So you need to find sample space of defective item out of 1000 items produced in a factory. I told you what is sample space, totality of all units. That means there should be nothing except this. Now you have gone to the factory. The storekeeper had kept 1000 items in front of you. Now you need to find how much defective can be there. We will find everything. Okay. So if you have seen thousands, then it is possible that there could not be any defective item. If all thousands are good, then there should be zero defective. It can happen that there is one defective item. Yes, it can happen. Yes, it can. It can happen that there are two defective items. There could be three. There could be four. There could be five, six. There could be 7 defective items, and there could be 1000 defective items also. Okay, we have to find each and every possibility. So we'll cover everything. We'll not think rational that sir, how can be 1000 defective items? What the company peoples are doing? We'll not think like that. We have to find sample space, so we'll find everything which can happen. Okay, if there are 1000 defective items, if there are 1000 items, then we will think that it can happen that 1000 are defective. See, we are thinking everything. We only have think that there can be zero defects. 0, 1, 2 up to 1000 defective there could be there. So, got my point? What I'm trying to say? Yes. So we have completed illustration number 3. 4 and 5 would be doing obviously. Okay. Let's do some from this 1.1. Right? State the sample space from the following random experiment. A balanced coin is thrown 3 times. So exercise 1.1. One, one. A coin is thrown 3 times. A balanced coin is thrown 3 times. You know why they are using this word balanced? Okay. I think some student might have told them that's what happens if coin doesn't fell down and it stands up like this. Okay, in some movie the coin has standed still. Okay, it doesn't. It didn't fall this side also. It didn't fall this side also. Okay, it holds still. So that's why they have used the word balanced coin. That means they are saying that coin is balanced. It will either fall this side or it will fall that side. So coin is balanced. So balanced coin is thrown 3 times. Now we have done coin 2 times, 3 times, 1 time, 2 times. Now we are doing coin 3 times. So what will happen if coin is thrown 3 times? There could be either head in all three. There could be either tail in all three. There could be either head, tail in all three. There could be tail, head in all three. There could be either head, tail, and there could be either tail, head. Then it's head, and tail. So these are the outcomes. These are the outcomes where a coin is thrown 3 times. Sir, how would we know that these are the only outcomes? Okay. I have written 8 outcomes here. Now, how would you be able to know that there are only 8 outcomes? It can be 7, it can be 9, whatever the count may be. How would you come to know? So, see, if you toss a single coin, then there are 2 outcomes. If you toss 2 coins, there are 2 into 2, 4 outcomes. In one coin, there are 2 outcomes. In 2 coins, there are 2 into 2, 4 outcomes. In 3 coins, there are 2 into 2, 2. That is 8 outcomes. In dice, also the same thing happened. One dice, 6 outcomes. Two dice, 6 into 6, 36 outcomes. Okay. So we'll be doing again in the next lecture. Till now, you should do this many things. Thank you.